Alright guys, come on in. Let's give you a little studio tour. This is what we've managed to put together after a couple of years. Come in. Why are you shy?
Ya Allah,
wow.
Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Wow, mashallah.
The steam is still coming out.
Shout out Mustafa Jordan,
Perfection.
our dear brother.
Fireaway from Ealing.
Beautiful.
Allah.
That's really good.
What's the story? Can you smell it? So,
Yeah, just want to shout out a friend of the team who sorted us out today, man. This is not the first time I've had his pizza, to be honest. He's like done an amazing job. But
Where's the shop?
Fireaway Ealing.
W5.
W5.
London W5.
Yeah.
Get down there. Inshallah. Can I have a slice now?
Has there ever been a time where you felt like quitting after Maghrib? He threatens retirement every 3 or 4 days.
You know what it is
Yeah,
though?
so have I.
It's there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, a lot of effort that's required that clashes with your personal life, your work life, your family life, your khidmah life. So this is something extra what we do to our day-to-day lives, and I don't think people realize that, honestly. Like even sometimes when I speak with people, like this Ramadan, I've been, alhamdulillah, going to different communities, meeting people, and they say, you know, Sayyid, why don't you discuss this? Why don't you bring this guy? Why don't you do that this certain way? I'm like, you make it sound like it's something flexible that we can do like this, but it's not like that.
Not always,
it's tough, it's tough. But I think I love the reward. I think the end goal, when the episode airs, when people watch, when you see people, you speak with them, they benefit from it, that keeps me going. Honestly, that keeps me going. But one thing in particular that keeps me going with this podcast is every time I have the thought of leaving, God forbid, is I'm like, you know what? Someone is more closer to their faith. For me, that's an achievement. Someone says, I'm a proud Shi'i Muslim, and this is important to me.
Yeah.
When someone tells me, you know what, I listened to this podcast, I saw this episode, I'm happy to be Shia. I'm comfortable to be Shia. For me, that's enough.
Yeah.
Can I have my slice now?
Yeah, jump in.
Ya Allah.
Do you know, I can relate to that as well, man. There's been maybe there's been 2 or 3 serious occasions where I'm thinking of leaving.
How long has it been since we started the podcast?
It's been summer 2022.
June 2020, yeah.
So
2022,
so it's been nearly 3 years. I called up Mo Ali.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Like probably 3 months ago. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I told him. I told him. I was like, I'm just waiting for the time. I'm gonna tell Sayyid Ali.
So why haven't you told me?
I was like, I need to.
We needed to
think
hold
about
your brother, bro.
Nah, not even that. I was like, I need to think for the right time to tell these guys, but then I rethought it.
Do you still have that thought process?
Thought process, yeah. But have I still got the intention to leave? No.
Alhamdulillah.
I think it's more because there's a fear of not having accomplished what I feel we can accomplish. So to leave it now, which doesn't even feel like halfway, is a failure in my mind. You know, everyone will say, wow, you guys have done a lot. 175 episodes of After Maghrib, but it still feels like there's a long way to go, a lot more to do. So yeah.
I can't lie, man. I feel like, obviously, I've never felt like quitting, but I also don't put in as much work, obviously. So, like, you know, it's a bit difficult to compare. But during my, like, Jum'ah nights thing, like, I never thought I wanted to quit. I mean, some people think I did quit. Some people think, like, you know, like, Jum'ah nights finished, so that's
series
me.
ended,
like, yeah, but, you know, obviously, I think... Obviously, things happen in everyone's life where, like, you've got less time and things like that. So you guys, I think you've done a great job of being able to go on for, like, 175 episodes, like, non-stop. So that's genuinely commendable. And people don't know it's a full-time job. Like, every day we're in the group chat, we're talking, we're saying, you know, what kind of topics you want to do, what guests should we bring, you know, like, maintaining a balance as well. Yeah. Because sometimes it's like, oh, have we gone too serious? Have we gone too, like, you know, too relaxed?
Bro, we have to think about, where do we stand religiously?
Exactly.
Do we give off an image which we don't want to give off? Because obviously we don't have an intention or an agenda towards any scholar or organisation.
Like, with the community in London as well, that people do put you into box. Yeah. And I think we've tried very hard to be neutral as well, exactly. And we've brought on guests of all kinds of different backgrounds. kept topics of all different kind of things in the religion, focused on all sorts of different topics. So I think like, you know, it's good that we're able to do that, but also I think some people are. Some people are really enjoying it because of the variety of content. But then there's also people that feedback saying, you know, what's your objective? Can you be more focused in your content into creating something specific? What do you guys think about that?
I think everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
And they're entitled to it, in all honesty. And we learn from it and we grow from it. And it's collective work. Although, like, for example, let's say the core team...
Yeah.
Is this your phone?
Yeah. Thanks.
I think the core team here, like After Maghrib, we may make a decision, but we differ in the approach, right? But the ultimate end goal is the same. And I think having like a Shi'i identity, that's our end goal, right? We want to represent the Ahlul Bayt, the madhab of Ahlul Bayt. And I think that's the way we're heading. And I would never change that.
Okay, let me ask you another question.
Never change that.
What has the podcast taught you about yourself? What have you learned about yourself personally?
That is a deep one. To be honest, every time like we have a conversation, post podcast.
Oh my God, you're banging.
بالعافية.
You're banging.
Was it, yeah?
These are good, mashallah.
Post the podcast on the drive home, I genuinely reflect of what we discussed. Did I say something I don't do? Did I say something without knowing there's like backing for it? So sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe I said something. Then people are going to assume I am that person. Is this who I really am? Yeah, sometimes I battle with these thoughts, right? But I think ultimately at the end of the day, what I achieve here after Maghrib, is growing spiritually. And even, for example, for me, it's more of a reality check. Like when we had Sayyid Muhammad Baqir Qazwini here, we discussed over an hour and a half on the Imam of our time. By the end of it, when he said, Sayyidina, how do you feel? I was like, I need to change my life.
Yeah, of course.
Like, because we're nowhere where we need to be. And I think that reality check every week in, week out is very important.
I think that's amazing as well, because it's not like it's not a show. It's like a...
But I call it therapy.
Yeah,
you know when
exactly.
I come
it's
here,
not
I
a
say
show.
it's therapy.
Like, people don't come here, like, the guest is not here as to put on a show, and neither are the hosts. It's a real conversation. Exactly. It's It's like a reality show. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, like that's
Keeping up
that's
with Mo Ali.
I don't think anyone wants to keep up with Mo Ali, you know that? I don't think anyone can keep up with Mo Ali. How about that?
Abu Ammar. But in all seriousness, what we've been doing week in, week out, many seasons, many hours, many guests, many sleepless nights, many conversations. What have you achieved after Maghrib? You yourself. What do you think you've achieved?
I think I have a better understanding where I want my life to go, to be honest. So I feel like I understand my goals better spiritually, and I feel like I've achieved my own personal purpose. So before After Maghrib, I was doing a lot of volunteering in different organizations. Some focused on bringing the message of Shiism to a non-Muslim audience. Some worked on intra-community issues, like, for example, within a mosque, for example. Yeah, I don't know about that. But I feel like I've realized my personal goal was to bring the Shia community together across the board.
Hello.
Do you know what I mean? So, for example, before that, maybe it was the youth in my mosque. And then at another point, it was like, no, I want to bring the message of Imam al-Hussein to a non-Muslim audience. But I feel like if there's one thing I'm comfortable in doing, is trying to bring Shias together. We unite on the Wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen. So for me, I love that. I love being able to do that. And I was thinking about this today. I was like, we have, the word influences is like a loaded term, like in today's day and age. So I wouldn't want to say that we have become influencers in that regards, but I do recognize that we have a reach and we have an audience. So I'm grateful of that, and I'm grateful of the fact that we can, like you said, we can share access to the people that we have, to people who don't have that basically.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'll ask the same question to you, but I just want to add something to something you mentioned in terms of, we don't want to use that word influencers. 3 weeks ago, someone was like, why don't you talk about this on the podcast? Like, it's important you mention this. You guys, you're representing the Shia madhab. I was like, when he said that to me, I got scared. I was like, is this is this, am I the right person? No, firstly, يعني, but it's a responsibility. Like, it's like, what do you talk about? What do you discuss? What do you refrain from speaking about? What's the approach of the conversation that you take during the discussion? Because when someone says, for example, you now represent Shia Islam or Shia Islam in the West or in the UK, wherever it is, not British Shiaism, no pun intended, but what's the responsibility one should have? Are we the right fit? Do we have the right? Do we possess like the?
Bro, anyone
the
who
correct-
talks about Shiism online
Yeah.
automatically represents
Represent
Shiism.
Shiism,
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
even if you don't, even if, bro, you take your shirt off and you do Matam and London Bridge, you're representing Shiism. And if you think that's the right representation or not, you're still representing. Do you know what I'm saying? You may not actively be trying to you represent Shiism your day-to-day life.
Well, my point is that we're not saying we represent the madhab, but people see it as though we speak on behalf of
course.
the madhab, and that's scary.
No, of course, yeah. I mean,
That's
we
scary.
come on here, we try
Yeah.
and speak knowledge and speak with people of knowledge. So of course, there's an element of burden and accountability.
But I
that we
think
have.
also at the same time, like, I think the topics that we discuss are quite general as well. Like, I
Yes.
mean, Jummah nights is a bit different, but after Maghrib, like, the discussions are quite like general, and the topics and the content as well are quite generally accepted things within Shia Islam. Like, I don't think there have been any moments where we've gone and spoken about a topic that is that contentious, or that a scholar doesn't hold a view in that specific area that we've espoused in our discussion. So, you know, it's been, you know, alhamdulillah, like, I think it's not that deep in that sense, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I think, you know, I mean, if someone is saying, you know, why don't you guys speak about, I don't know, something really deep that requires a lot of study, then of course, like, and I think we do know our, like,
Limit?
Boundaries.
our limit, exactly.
But
That's a good way
there's
to
things
put it,
we
yeah.
won't talk about.
Yeah.
Why?
of course.
Why?
Because we're youth. There's a limit on what we should and should not talk about.
And who sets that criteria?
We do. It's our podcast.
Ahsant.
No, but I mean,
Ahsant.
we know that, for example, certain topics require a scholar.
Yeah.
And certain topics which don't require a scholar and can be talked about amongst ourselves, we'll do that. And even then, topics which are like contentious or taboo or are like more detailed, then we approach it from a certain angle, or we approach it from like an outside-in angle, looking at it from the outside, or the societal effects of something, or like when you guys talked about taboo topics, you talked about the fiqhi angle, for example.
Yeah.
Like, you can talk about different angles of things, but you've got to bear in mind who you're speaking with, who's listening, the message it gives off, the fact that people can clip up what you're saying and post it online. But yeah, I pray inshallah, because look, over the years, we've probably had online maybe like 30 million views in social media and reels and all of that. So people are accessing our work. It's just, are we using, is our content benefiting people? Is it clarifying misconceptions? Especially that, like, the amount of Shia hate online right now is crazy, all-time high. All-time high anti-Shia hate. And the amount of content creators who are Shia online is all-time low. There's no one creating content. No one in our community is creating content.
No. Habibi, come to Karbala. You know why? Ahmed, tell them why.
Because Karbala is the city that never sleeps, and all these 25 million mu'mineen are alive with the love of Hussein.
My favorite achievement that we've done until date has been working with the shrine of Abu Fadl Abbas alayhi salam. For me, that's like, bro, I was baffled, bro. I didn't even know I was going until like 3 to 4 days
Abu
before.
Fadl, alayhi salam, handpicked him. I'm telling you.
Bro, we went
I'm
together.
telling you.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. That was a beautiful experience. I think that was the best thing, one of the best things I've done in my life. And then for After Maghrib, by far the best thing we've done, in my opinion.
You know, we were working
honestly.
like 16 hours a day.
Yeah,
I can still remember.
What, in Karbala?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No way.
To release like
There's
a
a lot.
2-minute clip. I'm
Not
like,
even that.
no, what's going on?
45 seconds. 45-second reels.
But that's the effort that needs to go in, like in Shia media. And I think perhaps one day we will get there. Can I say what's been one achievement for me? The After Maghrib event.
Oh, the event. Yeah.
For me, I felt like that was like, now I can breathe. You know, there was a build up to it, right?
Yeah,
There was anticipation, excitement, even like behind the scenes, we're like There was so much stress and so much concerns, but subhanallah, it flowed flawlessly.
It was a great event.
It
Alhamdulillah.
went better than I think any of us anticipated. And
Yeah,
even
no,
the feedback we got from those who attended, alhamdulillah wa shukr.
You guys learned your
Alhamdulillah.
host notes very well. You memorized your notes.
Yeah,
Allahu
for me as
Akbar.
well. That the event was crazy, like specifically for me, because I feel like you guys, like you're public figures regardless, innit? Sayyid Ali Radwi, obviously, I always tell him this, yeah. I always tell him this.
You should stop saying
Sayyid
this.
Ali,
Wallah,
yeah.
stop saying
I'm
this.
telling you, when I first met him, bro, I was in awe. I was like, bro, I'm meeting a celebrity. You get me? Obviously now we're boys, innit? So it's cool. But bro, when I met Sayyid Ali, bro, I was getting mad. I was saying, bro, I listened to this guy in my childhood. You get me? So yeah, like these guys are public figures. Ahmed, like you've been in the community, you've been in the community, you've been doing your talking.
We've been in the same class as young.
Yeah, not even, bro. You've been in the community, you've been chatting this, that.
Habibi, may Allah
For
bless
me,
you.
like that was my first public appearance, like doing a show, being on stage. Yeah, like you can't imagine the nerves. Or you obviously can, because you can think back to like your first ever performance or so on and so forth. So yeah, like I think that was a huge achievement for me as well. Like
Your panel was sick, by the way.
yeah,
Amazing,
alhamdulillah,
amazing.
alhamdulillah. Yeah, it was good, man. We had sick guests, innit?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, like Sheikh Ali, Sayyid Rehan, brother Hassan Qadri, bro, you can't go wrong, man.
guys all smashed
These
it.
guys are all
Collectively,
solid
collectively.
After Maghrib veterans.
Amazing,
You
amazing.
get me?
While Ahmed sips on his Salam Cola, I think let's get a bit serious. You know, alhamdulillah, we've been blessed over the last few years with After Maghrib, and the team, and it's growing, and the production, and the audience is growing, the platform is expanding, but we have a lot of restraints. There's a lot of things that hold us back from even doing more work, creating more Shia media content for the world. And sometimes it's hard to say it, but we need money.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
100%.
none of this is
possible
achievable
without
or
the
possible without the resources. And if I have family and friends and community members watching over the last few years, alhamdulillah, let me say this to the lens, you've always come to me when I see you in the centers, at events, and you say, how can we help, how can we assist? Now, wallah, now's the time. We need your help, we need your support, and I'm asking you, please support After Maghrib, and inshallah, Muhammad Ali is going to tell you why. And by the end of this, Ahmed's going to persuade you, inshallah, to make a generous contribution by becoming a partner, inshallah. I don't want to say more, but we need your help.
With more partnerships and more contributions from yourselves, we are actually making new content. It's not that it's not only the running costs that we need to cover, but making more content for you. And we've got, as we've mentioned, a sisters podcast, a sisters show in the plans for you, and we've got another academic show also coming up in the next few months, inshallah. So all of those things, we'll be investing in furniture, cameras, and other equipment that is required for those new shows. And that's very, very important that we have the support from the viewers so that we're able to actually bring this content to life. And as you've seen, After Maghrib has been very successful so far, but to continue being successful and be even bigger and better than we are now, that's what we need your support for.
And the vision and the blueprint is all there. Trust me, we've studied this. We just need your help to achieve it, inshallah.
Guys, so the breakdown, this area, the rent we pay is £1,250, or about $1,500 per month to sustain this space. Obviously, you can see here, we've got 4 cameras in this room.
Does it include Amir Sadiq?
Amir Sadiq is our in-house handyman. So we want to be able to give him hadiah. Poor guy, man. But no, you can see it's a very humble setup. But we want to get more furniture. We want to upgrade what we currently have. But more than that, we also want to give something small to guests who come in. We want to be able to do another event soon. We want to be able to do more shows. Have paid editors. Paid telemarketers, or not telemarketers, paid social media marketing guys, all of that as part of our team. So inshallah, hopefully you guys can support us. It would go a long way. We, like I said, Ali said, we know, I hope we know what we're doing. We've been studying this field for a long time, and although the podcast has only been going on for 2 or 3 years, most of the team behind the scenes has been in the Shia media space for at least 10 years. So a lot of us understand the industry, we understand the people. Alhamdulillah, we've got good connections, and we think we have what it takes to make this project grow, but we need your your investment, your support, your feedback, your strategic guidance as well. So yeah, help us out. The set doesn't look as good now as it does on camera because we're still doing the lights, and we have here the Statue of Liberty. In other words, Amir Sadiq, who is part of the team, part of the furniture. We have here Abu Ammar, Muhammad Ali.
Bro, right here we've got the two masterpiece artists.
Wow.
The artistic paintings made by our brother
Yunus
ibn Abdurrahman, as we call him. And obviously they're very famous from Jummah nights. Obviously, I know you guys been watching.
Come. So we use this set, guys. Mainly this room is for all of the filming and inshallah a couple new shows.
And obviously, this is where all the magic happens with Sayyid Mujtaba. Obviously, show him the screen. Show him the screen, fam. Show him the screen.
Look at
You
the
get me?
desk.
Full screens. Obviously, he's
it's a
doing the
start.
switching behind him. You can see Sayyid Ali there, looking very beautiful, mashallah.
Okay, and this room here, guys, this is what we're trying to develop into an editor's suite. So we've started setting up desks. We've got a couple workstations here, and we're setting one up here as well.
It's also,
As well as the merch.
yeah, it's acting as storage at the moment. Obviously, you can see we've got the hoodies in here. Boom. Make sure you get them from our website. And
But what I would say, guys, is it's taken us 2 years to get here to the point where we have our own space, where we have a space to film. We have furniture that we've managed to purchase ourselves, and of course merchandise we've put together. It's humble, it's not a lot, it's a start, but inshallah we want to get to.
It is tight.
It is tight.
You
We
barely
want to get
walk
to a
through
point
it.
where we are able to maximize the space we're in, and then inshallah grow even further.
this is where everything gets edited as well. So all the little clips that you see on the reels and on the Instagram. Yeah, obviously you got the Indonesian brother there. Let's see what he's saying.